Hi, my name is Jessica Kim, trainer with CCS Mid-Atlantic, and today's video is going to be talking about using the infinite cloner. So I have two pages set out for you to see examples of how you can use this in your classroom. And the first example is a lesson on punctuation marks. So what I've done is put in a passage here with no punctuation marks, and your students would come up to the board and drag over the punctuation marks that are below to the place that they believe it belongs. Alright, now the next example, I'm going to show you how to create this example. I'm going to add a blank page here, and the template that I use here for this page with the heading and the space for the work is actually part of your gallery. So if you type in instruction into your gallery and hit search, it is a notebook page, so I'm just going to click on that page and drag it right on over. I'm going to double click here to type in my instructions, and I'm going to widen the text box. I'm going to say drag over the punctuation mark to the correct location. Alright, now I am going to, for the sake of time, so I don't have to retype that entire passage, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to copy and paste that passage directly here. Okay. Now, one thing I do recommend when you're doing an activity like this is lock that passage down. The reason being is since the students are going to be moving those punctuation marks into the passage, they might actually click on that object and the entire passage may move. So you just want to you might want to just lock that passage down. I'm going to create a space below for where the students can come over and drag over those punctuation marks from. And I'm going to lock this box down as well by right clicking or hitting the drop down and going to lock in place. Now what I want to do is I want to make those punctuation marks, and I'm going to make each punctuation mark its own text box. This is critical for an activity like this because if I had them be one text box, I would actually infinitely clone them as a group, which I don't want to do in this case. Alright, now that I have my punctuation marks where I want them to be, I am going to highlight all of those punctuation marks, hit any of those drop downs, and go to Infinite Cloner. The drop down is that black arrow on the top right corner. Now you'll notice instead of the drop down being there, I have an infinity sign, and I can drag over any of those punctuation marks to where they belong. Oops, let's try that again. There we go. Alright, next example. I have this example here where students have to match the coins to the exact amount of the toy. So you have your directions up here, you have the image of the toys with the amount. Your students will come over and drag over those coins to make that amount. So to set up this page, we are going to go back to our gallery, drag in that page with the blue instruction, okay, type in my directions, and again I'm going to widen that text box so it fits nicely. Coins to match the exact amount for the toy. Alright, I'm going to get rid of this text box since I don't need it. Now what I need to do is find some images of toys. So I'm going to go to my gallery first and I'm going to type in toy, hit search, and let's see, this time I want an airplane, and let's get in a wagon. Alright, once I have that, I need to write my amount underneath. So I'm going to choose a smaller text box here, and I'm going to type in 67 cents, and let's say here I'm going to do, oops, let's say $1.35. Okay. Again, because this is an activity where students are going to be dragging over coins. They might accidentally click on these objects, and obviously I don't want them moving the objects or the amount. So I am going to lock these in place by highlighting all of them, hitting any of those drop downs, or right click because it is the same function. Going to lock, and then lock in place. Now, all I need to do is find those images of those coins. So again, I'm going to go to my gallery. I'm going to type in coin, and I'm going to scroll down towards the bottom here to get my coins. So I'm going to just click and drag them onto the page. Now you'll probably notice that these are actually fairly large and they're not fitting well into my page. And it's also important to me that the coins stay the same proportions to each other because it's really important for the students to see the size relationships between them to know the differences. So I'm going to highlight all of these again, hit any of those drop downs, go to group, and now that they're grouped, I'm going to resize all of them as a group. Now I could and then I'm going to hit ungroup. Now I could have resized each one of them individually, but if I did that, I might not have kept the true proportions of those coins to each other. Alright, now that I have them in place of where I want them to be, I'm going to highlight all of them again, go back to my drop down, and go to Infinite Cloner. Again, this time you'll see that infinity sign as opposed to the drop down, and your students can come over here and show you how they got that amount. Alright? So it's that simple to use an infinite cloner. You can use it for so many different applications. If you have any other questions, please feel free to send me an email. If you have a request of what you'd like to see on the next tips and tricks video, please email me. These are some websites that you guys can use as a resource, and you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Alright, that's it for now. Again, thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this video.